Okay.
Kayla got the 111, number 111. Sipping lemonade, throwing like shade.
One is posting the broke that cold. Shit turned my heart past cold. All time low, acting normal, but was ready to go. Broke my soul.
What's up, everybody? It's Kayla Got the 411. I'm back for another What's Good episode. I'm here with Tonio The Great. How you doing, Tonio? I like to ask everybody what's good since this segment is what's good.
And I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm living good. Business is good. Music going good. I can't complain.
Now, you say you was at your office. Now, what exactly do you do outside of music?
I do a little bit of everything. So I have my own trucking and cargo van company. I also have a clothing brand called Underdog as well.
What? And speaking of your mixtape Underdog, now we got into that a little earlier in the show. Now, I ain't never heard a project from do you consider yourself up and coming artist?
Yeah, for sure.
Not as solid as that, man. Like, you know, sometimes I listen to everybody's music on here and I got to yours a little late. Every song on that project was like dope as hell. Like, I was listening to it in the car and I was like, damn, like, you sound like a solid, already established artist. So that project, I just want to go ahead and let you know that personally, because I don't know, have you seen my show?
Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
I ain't really that easy to impress when it comes to people's music. But yo, that project was dope. So pretty much when I listen to your music, you come off as a very lyrical storyteller type of artist. Like, what inspires you when you make music?
Honestly, real life.
Real life. Was music
yeah.
always a passion for you? Like, did you start off like a little kid, like thinking you was gonna be Tupac one day?
So like growing up, man, I was raised by my mom and my grandmas, and like we always, like, especially my grandma, always played like old school music, you know, like real storytelling music, that soul touching music. So from then, I always felt like I was gonna be doing something in music. Like my very first song I ever wrote, I want to say I was like 6, but it was that R. Kelly song, I Wish.
Oh yeah, I graduated to that. You know, everybody's graduated to that.
I basically copied and pasted every word. Like I sat there and listened to every word he was saying in the song. I wrote it down and I put it in rap form. So that was the very first song I wrote, like, or thought I wrote. Yeah,
did you ever get to perform it for anybody?
Not that song, no.
Man, you may have to do it. You know, look at R. Kelly is still talented. I would love to hear, like, maybe, you know, you grown now, like, you know what I'm saying, another remake. I think that'll be dope. Now, I know you were very deep and real and vulnerable when it comes to your music, and I know you've been very vocal about growing up as a nomad. So people who don't know what that is, like, explain to them what it is to be like a nomad.
So a nomad is somebody just moving around like 24/7. Like, for example, I went to a different school every year of my life. From pre-K up to high school. Like I went to like 8 different high schools. I went to juvie high school. I went to alternative school. I was always on the move. We always moved a lot, different cities, different states. Man,
how did it affect you as a kid? And does it like influence your music today?
You know what? It definitely influenced my music. As a kid, I was like, kind of like, dang, like it kind of bothered me some, because I'm like, I'm moving from one hood to another hood. These my best friends. Why I gotta leave them? And but as I started getting older, I started realizing, like, no matter what I did, I had the love from every project that I done stayed in, from every state, from every city. And like even now, like I think about that all the time. And my mama was just talking about that. I kind of like hated it growing up, but now, no matter what I do, I get that love from everybody, no matter where I'm at in the city or whatever city I'm in.
Wow, that's dope. So you are currently in Atlanta now, right?
Yep.
Okay, but you wasn't born here.
Nah, so I was always back and forth to Atlanta as well. Like my granddaddy been living in the same house for the past 60 years off Ralph David Abernathy over towards that way.
Don't tell people where he live at, because you know.
No. I ain't gonna say where he live at, but he been living on that way for the past 40, 50 years. Like he a staple in that project. So yeah, like that's something I always been back and forth my whole life.
Okay. So when it comes to how you create your music, I love asking artists this question. Like when you go into the studio, do you already have your lyrics in your head where you don't need no pen, you don't need to write anything down? Or do you actually get in the studio, like feel the music out and then you create your music? Like what's your whole process?
It depends. 98% of the time, I mean, I treat music just like how I treat the business. Like when I go to the studio, I have any producer or engineer can tell you this. Like when I go to the studio, I already done sent them probably 15 to 20 beats, and I've already written to every one of those songs.
What?
So when I go to the studio, I can go to the studio every day. I'm gonna knock out at least 8 songs minimum in an hour, 2 hours, because I already got it down. Even if I don't put it in my notes, I got it down in my head. So yeah, I go in, I knock it out. Now, there's been times I went to the studio and I just want to vibe out and get that feeling and go, go from there or whatever. But the way I like to work, I like to go in and have everything set in stone.
Right, because don't normally you artists, you all pay by the hour. Because I've had a few producers on here and they're like, hey, if they don't care how long an artist take, they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay
Yeah. And a lot of guys, when they go to the studio, man, they trying to look cool. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? They not really
working. You can say that. I said for you, working.
Yeah, they ain't working. And me coming from where I come from, like me coming from the projects and me actually coming from street and Dodge past, it's like I don't got time to bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I come to handle business, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Right, because you're a businessman. You think about it, even everything you got going on, like you ain't going in to have fun, smoke weed, flirting girls. So you come in there, get it done, go home. Exactly. I like that. Now, when I listen to your music, you're very vulnerable in your music. I think it's really dope to see men be vulnerable in their music. Because, everybody, they want to talk about chains. Like, okay, everybody got a chain. Okay, good for you. But you're vulnerable and you get real deep in it, especially that song called Ike and Tina. Now, what inspired that song? Who is Tina in your life?
Yeah, that's what I was going through, man. Like, that whole story is from probably like 2018, 2019. That was real life. That was what I was experiencing. That's how I was feeling at the time. Like, and not to say that the person at that time is no bad person or the worst person in the world, but that's how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's how the situation made me feel. Everything in there is real. Everything.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men that feel that type of way, but you don't really have a lot of guys that actually be brave enough to say that.
Yeah.
How they feel. Okay, now we don't know her name, but did Tina in this situation, did she hear the song?
Yeah. She done heard that song. She done heard that song a million times.
Okay, okay.
That's my dog. That's my best friend.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's my like. That's my forever. Like no matter what happened.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
shout out to you, girl, Tina. We don't know your name, but girl, Spite a hit, because that song is a banger. Now, speaking of that mixtape, the mixtape is called Underdog. Now, I consider myself the underdog, okay? For people who don't know what the underdog is, it's like people don't expect you to win. And I feel like when you are the underdog, you always gotta like outdo, your peers. So what made you title that Underdog? Because it don't sound like no album or project from an underdog.
So, of course, my brand is Undefeated Underdog, the brand that I own. Underdog is just one of them things where it's like, I was never the kid that felt chosen. Like I faced so much like rejection growing up from whether it be family, whether it be whatever it is. I just was the one that had to go the extra extent to get it. When other people could take the easy route out, I didn't have it. I always had to sacrifice, like whether it be for my family, whether it be fun, for something small like spring breaks. Other kids, they going on spring breaks with their friends and all of that. I didn't have that. I had to sacrifice. I was doing stuff that kids wasn't even thinking about doing it at that age, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to do what I had to do. Like, so with that, like, of course, I'm not just gonna label myself as no oh, just you're an underdog, and I'm gonna stay that. Nah, because everything we went through, we done beat, we done defeated. You know what I'm saying? So that's why undefeated underdog. Cause yeah, I might have not been chosen at that time, but I come out on top every time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's normally how it always be. You hear those success stories, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always a kid that, you know, always had to go through something. See, like everything you did, it seemed hard, challenge as a challenge as a challenge. And then when you finally get it, you look back like, okay, it was all worth it. So I love the fact that you chose that, especially the song selection. So I'm gonna ask you a question. What's your favorite song on that project and why?
I give 2 answers in one. So my favorite song, as far as a song that I can just sit there and listen to every day, all day, and I know it's a song that's going to like hit the charts, I say 21 Questions.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite personal song would probably be that's a good ass question, man. My favorite personal song would probably be the interlude I did, Brothers Keeper interlude.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I say that is because, like, again, like everything I speak on is gonna be all like facts. That song is about my brother. And when I started off, and I'm like, I told you not to F with them niggas wasn't right. Same shit I warned you about, but you took all of that is like real facts. So like that's a song that's like super personal. I got you. So crazy, man. But yeah, that's a song that's like super, super personal to me. But I try to give it to him in a different way.
Right.
Not like like I could be on some super lyrical, spiritual, you know, rapping type, you know, some old school, but that ain't, people not gonna receive it that way. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna.
You know, I agree, because sometimes I feel like people, it's so crazy. I got this little thing where I feel like, you know how a lot of people say something about J. Cole, his music is boring. And I'll even be critical of his music, right? And then I kind of started seeing J. Cole when he get on those features, you know, those upbeat songs where you can really like listen, but dance to. And that's how I feel like your music is, like you can dance to, like sorry mama. Like you can really get that shit in the car, but you listen to the lyrics, you're speaking some real talk. So you have a great, great balance of that. So that's why I was going through each project like, man, this sounds like really a well put together album. And you keep pushing that. I don't care who you got to push that to. That right there, I'm telling you, that right there, I got a good ear. That's they're gonna take you places. So we're gonna take a little moment, have some fun, and get to know you a little better, okay? So I'm gonna ask you 3 questions and you're gonna finish the sentence, all right?
All right.
Okay, what is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Cigars.
Cigars, okay. And next, finish the sentence. They were sleeping on me until I
said fuck them.
Okay. And last, let's manifest you at the Grammys. I'm real big on manifestation and stuff like that. So if you were on the stage, they call your name, winner for best hip hop album of the year, Tonio The Great, what will be your acceptance speech, kind of, sort of? We're gonna go ahead and practice.
Man, my acceptance speech would be, first off, I appreciate myself for never giving up and going after everything I want in life. Second, I say God and my mama, because that support and that, boy, I can never turn my back on that. My siblings, I got a shit ton of them. Faith, man, if I sit there and name all of them, it'll be a long time. But
right, you're not the Vermis boy. You get too long, they cut your it's off. That's
exactly.
So,
and then,
whatever. Go ahead and get this all set.
Of course, I'm gonna say, because I got a son as well.
That's on the son is on your album cover, right?
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Appreciate that. So of course I'm gonna say my son, and I'm gonna say Ajane.
Okay, perfect. So we look here. When you get your Grammys speech, okay, go ahead and slide me in there too. Remember, just go ahead and tell them that you practiced when you was on my show. Now we are in the new year, 2022. the mixtape just came out. What do you have coming out for the rest of the year? What are your plans?
Oh man, so I got literally 8 visuals that are ready to be put out. I got probably another 10 features that I've already done for people that's about to be put out. And I have 2 tapes that I'm gonna be putting out soon too.
Wow.
My next tape is actually Undefeated.
Okay, let's go. I can tell you're a businessman because you got all your everything is lined up. You got sitting up here wondering, thinking. You got everything all planned up. So, are you going to be doing shows like this year? Like, I know the pandemic, and people are kind of getting out of that. We in Atlanta, so you know. So, are you going to be doing shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's something that's already been planned out as well. I actually got some pretty big shows that's about to be lined up. Opening up for a couple people. I want to say it's like 6 already that's in the working. So that's definitely something I'm gonna have to keep you informed on. But yeah, I got some stuff coming up.
But
sure.
Let me know. I always support everybody that be on this show and come out. And once you on this show, I always support. And I want to say thank you so much, Tonio, for reaching out. How did you even find me?
Just one of them things, just on the Explore page.
What? Shout out to Instagram.
Yeah, on the Explore page. And I'm one of them type of people, like, I give people their flowers, like, off rip. So it's gonna be times you might see me under somebody I don't know music page commenting like, hey bro, you hard as hell, like da 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 da. That's the type of person I am. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know, a lot of people with this social media world, they got too much pride. They don't want to reach out to people and all of that. But me, I like to share my love. So if I see something, I see it dope. When I first seen your setup, I seen like how you was presenting your social media pages and everything. I was like, damn, this shit dope as hell. So I had to.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because you know, sometimes when you're trying to push, sometimes you can get discouraged, but sometimes when people like say, hey, you're dope, other talent, recognize other talent, that right there be just a little boost that you need. So thank you so much for reaching out. That was dope, right?
Appreciate you.